practice. Our practice this morning entitled Core Values. Not to get like political or moral or anything on y'all. Y'all know what your core values are. We are segueing this into core values within our body. Now, of course, within our yoga practice, we have core values, right? If we're like really studying yoga, we have values of integrity. We have values of nonviolence. We have values of honesty. We have values of generosity and compassion and not being greedy and not being hoarding. And you can certainly dive into even more of those, which we will do in our third book of the year in Yoga Books and Brunch Club, which is Nikolai Bachman's book. What's it called? I'm looking for it. Well, I can't see it right off the bat, but it's his book on the yamas and the niyamas. And but anyway, so I'll email that to you. But anyway, all about core values within the practice of yoga, how we take our yoga from the mat and out into the world. Today, we're going to look at our core values from a physical perspective and an asana perspective by focusing on this canister of our core. I want you to think of the top of your can as your diaphragm, muscle that pumps, right? The top of your can is the diaphragm, the bottom of your can is the pelvic floor, and all these muscles in between, not just the front, not just the six-pack muscle, which is the rectus abdominis, but you've got the internal obliques, the external obliques, the transverse abdominis. Actually, the transverse is the six-pack, but anyway. But then I also want you to consider the muscles along the back of your spine as well. Now, we can go deep and talk about the quadratus lumborum. That's a whole nother class in and of itself. But think about all the muscles along your spine, the multifidus, the spinal erector muscles, et cetera, et cetera. So our focus today is like from here to here, and a little bit of up here and a little bit of down here. But you need one block. I want you to have a seat on your mat, and you can sit however it's comfortable for you to sit. When I have been practicing this sequence, I have been sitting in Virasana on a block on its lowest or its second height. Shins on the mat, knees together, feet lined up on either side of the block, toes spread out. If that is killer on your knees, your hips, your ankles, ditch it and sit into maybe Sukhasana, cross-legged pose, or get up on a chair. That's legit too, right? Okay, once you get into your seat, I want you to rest your hands on your lap, close your eyes. I'll wait for everybody to get sat up, caught up. Tap into your plumb lines, ears, shoulders, and hips. Bring one hand to your low belly, one hand to your low back. Notice if your low back is over-exaggerating the arch, the curve of the lumbar spine. If that sway back is present, I want you to draw your belly in slightly. Now, we're not trying to flatten the lumbar curve. No, not at all. We're just trying to equalize the curvatures of the spine so our posture is tall and erect. So we don't have one set of muscles overworking at the expense of another. And bring your arms down to your sides. And let's breathe in together. Sweep your arms out and up overhead. Draw your two palms together at the top, and as you exhale, bring your hands down to your heart. Thumbs to sternum. Two more times, breathing in, arms sweep out, get wide, get tall in your seat, and exhaling. Glide your hands down to your chest. Good, and another deep inhalation. Root down through your feet and your sitting bones as you lift through your side ribs. Bring your palms together and exhale. Float your hands down gently, effortlessly in front of your heart. Good, you can open your eyes. Let's breathe in, arms come up. Spinal quick lube, I want you to bring your right fingertips to the floor and reach your left arm over your left ear. Sorry. Good. And then use the inhalation to bring both arms back up. Right arm comes up to meet the left. And then left fingertips float down and reach your right arm over your right ear. Excellent. We're going to do that 2 more times. Breathing in, reach up. Side bend to the right, breathing out. Good. Rising up. And then side bending to the left. So on these last 2 times, use your abdominal muscles to lift yourself up rather than your arms, if that makes sense. 1 more time to the right. Let yourself float slowly. Finally, right fingertips touch the floor and then rise up. Good. And then float to the left. And don't be in a hurry to get your right fingertips to the floor. Let those side muscles work. Good. And then rising up. Now we're going to twist to the right. As you exhale, left hand to your right knee, right fingertips to the floor, or maybe it hits the block behind you. And then as you inhale, lift your ribs and unwind. When you exhale, we'll turn to the left. And I want you to see how far can you turn before you bring your hands into the picture to give yourself that last little oomph. Good. And 2 more times, arms come up, unwinding. Good. Starting this movement from your core, exhale, begin to turn, then let your arms float down. And as you inhale, begin to turn, then let your arms help you to come up. Good, and we'll go to the left. Great, 1 more time, please. To the right and to the left. Nice. Relying on your muscles to initiate the movements rather than your arms and joints. Good. And to the left. Nice. And rising up. Bring your palms together and glide your hands down. Good. We'll take a beat. Let your shoulders relax for a moment. Fingertips to your shoulders, please. 4 circles, taking your elbows in one direction. These can be as big or small as you'd like. Go the other direction after you've completed 4. Awesome. Bring your arms down. Take both arms out to the sides. I'm going to have you turn your right palm up, your left palm back to the wall behind you, and then take your left arm down, right arm up. Okay. Bend your right elbow, pat yourself on the back. Maybe take your left hand up your spine, maybe connect your fingers, or release your left arm from behind you. Find that external rotation in the left arm, so palm will go up. Take your left arm over your head to the elbow. Good. And while we're here, notice the temptation to really blow out the right ribs. I want you to pull your ribs in towards the midline. And keep a reminder, ears, shoulders, and hips in the same plane. Drop into your lower back. Notice if your low back is over-exaggerated in the arch. Now you release your left hand, let it float down to your side. And then your right arm can go straight up and float down to your side. Roll your right shoulder a couple times. Good. And we'll go again, arms out. You're going to turn your right hand to the back wall, left palm up, arms go in opposite directions, left arm up, right arm down, bend your left elbow, bring your right hand to your spine, maybe the hand walks up, maybe your shoulder's like, no way, not today, then release your left arm, palm up, Take your left arm to, I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong, I'm mirroring something completely different. Take your right hand to your left elbow. I think we might need a do-over. But, and I think all y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, good. Yeah, right hand to left elbow. Good, mind your ribs. You're gonna release your right hand first. Good. And then take your left arm straight up. And float your left arm down to your side. Roll your left shoulder a couple of times. Bring your palms together, clasp your fingers together, spin your palms forward and take your arms up. Good. Press up through your right palm, the heel of your right palm. Oh. And then push up through the heel of your left palm. Oh. Great. And then both arms equalized. Bring your arms down just long enough to change the interlace of your fingers. And here we go again. Palms go forward, arms rise up. And press up through the mound of your index fingers, the base of the knuckle, the base knuckle of that first index finger, and draw your pinky fingers back. Terrific. And then bring your arms down. Walk. Roll your shoulders a couple times. Come onto your hands and your knees. Have your block up at the top of your mat. We'll come to it shortly. When you get to your hands and your knees, take yourself gently through 3 rounds of cat-cow, arching as you breathe in and rounding on the exhale. Take your time, there's no rush. Being mindful of letting the tailbone initiate the movement and getting a sense, a true felt sense of the articulation of each vertebrae as you roll your breath up your spine to extend. And you roll your breath down your spine on the exhale to flex and round. Looking good. Feeling good. Good. When you find your way to your third cat-cow, or if you're already there, let's do one more. As you arch your low back, middle back, upper back, look forward. Ooh, yeah. And then as you exhale, drop into child's pose. Sinking hips to heels. Use the power of an in-breath and the power of your core to propel yourself forward to staff. Breathing in, keeping your belly firm. Let the movement happen from your midsection, and then downward dog as you breathe out. And we're going to repeat that 2 more times, that sequence. Coming to the knees as you inhale, arching and taking note that the muscles along the back of your spine are contracting to shorten that distance between your pelvis and your ribs. And when you exhale, the muscles are lengthening as you round your back into child's pose. I didn't say that part. And then use the power of your midsection to propel yourself forward to staff, emanating strength all the way down to your legs, and then downward dog as you exhale. Great. One more time. Hands and knees, finding the cow of cat-cow, looking forward. Arching as you stretch the muscles on the front of your spine, and then exhaling into child's pose, dropping hips to heels. And this time, when you come into staff pose, we're going to hold it there for a minute Take your feet at least 6 inches apart. And I want you to spin your heels to the left. So you'll be on the instep of your right foot, the outer edge of your left foot. Keep both hands to the floor. So we're working the obliques, internal and external. Draw your hips towards the midline. Excellent. Roll your heels to the other side. Return to the balls of your feet. Well done. And downward facing dog. Good. Draw your hips back, femur bones back, lengthening your spine out of your pelvis all the way down to the crown of your head. Great. And I'm going to have you step your right foot forward and bring your back knee down. We're going to hang in this low lunge for a full 60 seconds. So set yourself up in the way that feels good for you. Blanket under your knees, perhaps, or put your hands on your block, or keep your fingertips to the floor. I did not set my clocks forward last night. And so when I got up, I thought, oh, wow, I'm up early. This is great. I have a good long time to practice and hang out and drink my tea. Little did I know. All right. Fingertips to the floor. You're going to take your right foot back to downward dog, utilizing any transitions that work for you. Good. March your heels a couple of times, softening one knee, then the other. And step your left foot forward. And you'll bring your opposite knee down. Good. And then we're in it for a minute. So I don't really feel like I sprung forward. I feel more like I flopped forward. Oh, whoops. I better get a move on. That's what I get for not taking my phone to bed. Not looking at it for a long time after I wake up. Almost there. Okie dokie. Pick your back knee up. Get up onto your fingertips and shift your weight forward into your left foot. And you're going to step forward. Good. Right foot forward next to left. Great. And slowly bring yourself all the way up to standing. Sweep your arms out and up. Good. Bring your hands to your heart. Okay, here we go. Now we flow. Breathing in. Let's go arms up, please. And you're going to swan dive forward as you touch the floor. Exhaling, fingertips to the floor. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Chair pose is next. So wait for it. But when you inhale, bend the knees, sink the hips. Utkatasana, chair pose. And then when you exhale, you'll straighten your legs, fold forward, bring your hands behind your back, clasping your fingers together. And release your fingertips to the floor, inhaling, looking forward. Ardha Uttanasana. And on the exhale, bow down, step your right foot back, spin your right heel down. Good. And reach for your block. I want you to block in both hands. Arms straight out in front of you. Now really plant into your back foot as you breathe in, rise up, warrior one with the block. And just as we did in our seated sequence, I want all this action to happen from your midsection. Exhale, slowly come forward, bringing that block right out over the top of your sticky mat. And then inhaling, start with your abs, lift up, rather than swinging your arms. And then exhale again, coming forward. So you're offering the block to somebody in front of you. Good, let's keep going. Inhale, rise up, anchor into that back foot. Slow you go. Exhale forward. Great, inhale, rise up. And exhale forward. Good. Bring yourself up one last time. Keep your lower body where it is, but turn your upper body a quarter turn to the right. Keeping the block between your hands as you breathe in, arc back over your right leg. Woo! Oh, and then exhale, come back to vertical. So it's not going to be a really huge move, right? And then inhale, arc back over your right leg. And exhale, back up to vertical. Great, twice more. Inhale. So it's a different flow when you're not swinging your arms around, right? And exhale, back up to vertical. Good. Breathing in, rock back. And exhale to vertical. Let's go one more time. Inhale, rock back. Ooh. And exhale to vertical. Okie dokie. Straighten your left leg. Breathing in. And as you exhale, now you're going to arc your upper body over your left leg. Oh. Inhale right here. And when you exhale, bend your left knee. Woo! Keep your upper body parallel to the floor. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Ugh. And exhale, bend the knee. Roll your right shoulder back for me. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Turn your sternum to the right. Exhale, bend your left knee. Good, one more time. Inhale, straighten left leg. Ugh. And exhale, bend left knee. Ooh, nice. Now turn your torso over your mat. So you're reaching your block forward once again. Set your block down. You're welcome. Fingertips to the floor. Come up onto the ball of that back foot and step back to downward dog. Holy smokes. Breathing in, pull yourself forward to staff and come to your forearms. 30 seconds. Yowza. Down to the mat you go, right on. Bring your arms into a cactus shape. And on an inhalation, lift as much of your body off the floor as you can. Head up, chest and arms up, feet and legs up. Stay here. As you exhale, 2 more breaths. Breathing in. Breathe into your back ribs. And exhale. Try to maintain that altitude under your heart. And one more time, breathing in. Maybe lift your legs a little higher. Nice, Maxine. And then exhale, back down to the floor. Everybody goes. Take as much time as you'd like to bring your body into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Beautiful. From downward dog, I'm going to have you float your right leg up. And on the exhalation, come forward to staff. Bring your knee to your chest. Good. We're going to move back to downward dog again, three-legged dog with your right leg floating up on the inhale. And then gliding forward, knee to chest, exhale. Good. 2 more times, please. Inhaling up. And exhale, floating forward, going slow and deliberately. Once more, inhaling. And this time, exhale, knee comes to chest. Hover it up there, lift your toes away from the floor. And then step your right foot forward. Keep your back knee lifted. Left fingertip stay to the floor. Breathing in, let's float the right arm out and up, using the inhalation to support the twist. And exhale, float your right arm down. 3 more times. Using the in-breath to feel that expansion through your arms, chest, ribs, and exhale. Right arm floats down. Good, twice more. Stay rooted through your toes and your back foot. Notice if your heel is spinning to one side as you twist. Try to keep your back leg sturdy and stable. Beautiful, excellent, Sonia. 1 more time. Inhaling. Good, and exhaling. Nice. And step forward. Left foot next to right foot. Awesome. Come all the way up as you breathe in. You can roll up or come up with a strong flat back. Good. Fold forward as you exhale. Take your time. Keep your spine long, 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 long. And then bow your head. Ooh. Chair pose is next. Breathing in, bend your knees, sink your hips, take your arms up. Good. And straighten your legs as you exhale. Bring your arms behind your back, clasping fingers together. Oh. And fingertips to the floor, coming halfway up, looking forward, pulling your sternum away from your thighs. And then bowing down, taking your left foot back, spinning your left heel down. Here we go, y'all. Grab your block. Keep your upper body parallel to the floor as you offer your block in front of you. Anchor into your back foot. Inhale, ooh, rise up. Belly stays firm. Exhale, reach forward. Inhaling, come on up. And exhaling, forward. Breathing in, lift up, find that vertical line. And exhaling slowly, in control. And then inhale, keep your arms straight, lift up. And exhale. Awesome. 4 times. That completes that round of the sequence. So pull yourself upright. Whew. Keep your legs where they are, but turn your trunk a quarter turn to the left. If you need to adjust your stance, go for it. Then you're going to arc back over your left leg on the in-breath and rise up on the out-breath. Go again, arcing back. Ooh. And lifting up. How's that back leg doing? Keep that back leg super strong. Twice more. And up. Last one. How about relaxing your toes a little bit, Lisa? And then come up. Okay, now straighten your right leg. I know that feels good. Take a breath in. And you're gonna bring your right ribs and arms over your right leg. So it's almost like triangle pose, right? This is the in-breath. As you exhale, bend your right knee. Ooh. Good, straighten your leg as you breathe in. Holy cow. Turn your sternum to the left, bend the knee as you breathe out. Good, straighten your leg. Take your left shoulder back a little. And bend your left knee. Really working those side muscles. Straighten your leg. Turn, sternum to the left. And bend your left knee. I think that was 4. I don't know, if you want to go again, be my guest. I'm going to turn torso over right leg, whoo, block to the floor. My goodness, come up on the ball of the left foot, square the hips, downward dog. Yay. Come forward to staff, please. And yes, bring your forearms to the floor. Keeping both forearms on the mat, spin your heels to the left. So you're on the instep of the right foot, outer edge of the left foot. Keep your legs strong and straight, sturdy and stable. Move your mandible back and forth several times. Come to the balls of your feet. Woo. Take your heels to the right. 10 more seconds. Come to the balls of your feet. Oh my goodness. And all the way down to the mat you go. Holy smokes. Okay. Bring your arms behind your back. Clasp your fingers together and then lift up as you breathe in. Take your knuckles back, 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 back. Finding this version of Shalabhasana, locust pose. Nice. And then lower yourself down. We'll come into downward facing dog. You can take a detour through child's pose if you'd like. Downward dog. Okay. Three-legged pose, three-legged dog pose flow. Left foot floats up, left foot floats up. Left foot floats up as you breathe in. Glide forward, bring your knee to your chest as you breathe out. And then here you go, 3 more times, breathing in. You're doing great, everybody. This is a strong vinyasa class. You're doing so, so well. Come forward as you exhale, knee to chest. Go ahead. And inhale, extend, spread your toes. And exhale, let your spine dome a little as you bring your knee to your chest. Yeah, good. One more time. Inhale, go up, reach up. Excellent, Delinda. And then come forward, exhale, pull your knee to your chest, hug it up there. Stay for an extra beat. And then step forward. Good, you're gonna keep your right fingertips to the floor and we're gonna twist to the left 3 times. When you're ready, on your terms, left arm up as you breathe in. And down as you breathe out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. One more time, breathing in. And breathing out. Shift your weight a little more into that left foot and step forward. Breathing in, bring yourself all the way up. Oh, good. Fold forward as you breathe out, fingertips to the floor. Utkatasana, chair pose as you inhale. Good, looks great, Kathy. And then fingertips to the floor as you exhale. Good. Now, you're going to bend your knees deeply and have a seat on your bum and roll yourself onto your back. Good. Keep a block nearby. So maybe kick a block up towards you, have it on standby. Good. We're going to begin on our backs, knees to chest, hands behind your head, fingers clasped together for yogic bicycle. The inhalation, elbows have to touch the floor. As you exhale, peel yourself up, bring right elbow to left knee, maybe stretch right leg forward if you like. And then inhale, elbows to floor, knee to chest. And exhale, left elbow, right knee, coiling up. And inhale, knee to chest. Great. We're going for 10 rounds. That was one. And if your lower back is giving you any sass, put your knees to the floor. Maybe consider not coming up so high. Good. Y'all are on your own for the count. You're following your breath print, the pattern of your breath. Good. And keep moving to the rhythm of your breath, to the tune of your breath. Going slow. Relying on the muscles from your diaphragm to your pelvic floor, front, side, and back, 360 degrees, to peel you up rather than pulling yourself up by your hands, rather than yanking your head up. Let your head be heavy in your hands. Good. And as you finish up, and take your feet to the floor. Good. And just rest for a moment. Terrific. Good. You can stretch your arms over your head. Lengthen your side waist. Maybe arch your back a little bit. Fantastic. Return your knees to your chest, please, and take your arms out like a T. Next up is Jatra Parivartanasana. So this is Jatra is the word for stomach. Also can be translated as pot or urn. And parivrita is to twist or to churn. So this is the pot churning pose or the stomach twisting pose. With your knees bent and your feet off the floor. Now, again, if your low back is sassing you, put your feet on the floor. As you breathe in, you're going to stay right here in the middle. When you exhale, you'll take your knees to the left. Now, before your left knee hits the mat, you breathe in and pull yourself back up to the center. And then you can exhale and take your knees to the right. Good. Now push that right leg into the left leg to come back up. Nice, good. And here we go. 4 more times for a total of 5. Going to the left on the exhale, hovering right before you hit the floor. And inhale to come up. And exhaling to the other side. For these last few rounds, you have a choice. You're welcome to straighten your legs. When you come up on the exhale, your legs would be vertical. Definitely a more challenging version. Good. and keep those shoulders down. So I got to tell you, one of the things that, this is a great illustration of one of the things that has brought me great joy practicing and teaching at home, is I can do this in my living room, and one hand can grab the base of the coffee table, the foot of the coffee table, and the other hand can grab a foot of the chair. So I really can anchor my arms and shoulders down when I do this. Of course, you know, it might depend on how your room is arranged, but I've kind of eked my way into a little slot where that works for me. It's nice to have that assist. All right, after you finish up 5, and again, you're not rushing through these, breath is key. Then you'll just draw knees to chest. Good. Let your belly be soft. Great, and then set your feet to the floor, keeping your knees bent. Take a breath, take your arms up over your head, arch your low back away from the mat. Oh, and then exhale, bring your arms down to your sides. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got one more to go. I don't know what this is called, but we're going for it. So what happens is you're going to take your block. This works really well with a foam block. I find it less dangerous if you have a foam block, but just hear me out. Here's what's going to happen. So I'm going to use I don't have a foam block up here, but I'm going to use this bamboo block. It's not solid, so it's a little lighter than this other heavy one. Anyway, just grab a block. So here's what happens. You're going to take your block, you're going to put the block between your ankles. I'm going to pull my pants up just a little bit so the block touches flesh rather than material, because I think it'll stick better that way. Once I get the block between my ankles and low shins, so it's not directly on my ankle bone, I should say, I'm going to take arms overhead, breathing in, and float my legs down just about 2/3 of the way to the floor. And then as I exhale, ooh, legs come up, arms come up, reach up so you can lift your head and shoulders up, grab the block between your hands, take the block over your head, and once again, take your legs down about 2/3 of the way towards the floor. And then here we go again. Reach up, feet come up, put the block between your ankles. Great. So that's the option. That's the big option. You can keep your knees bent for this and just like tap your toes to the floor, kind of like a dead bug exercise. Absolutely legal. We're going to do 5 of these bad boys. Use your breath. Inhale, your feet and arms move in opposite directions. Exhale, you're either grabbing or placing the block. Okay, let me see if my instruction made sense. Oh yeah, y'all got it. Most important is to be really mindful of your lower back if it's talking to you in any fashion. You can lift your head and shoulders up. Good. And like really, you can lift your hips up as you come up. Kind of squeeze yourself in there. That's it. Great. Good, good, good. Nice. Nice. Excellent. Good. So total of 5. Y'all keep track. Good. And if you're finishing up a little early, then feet to the floor. Nice. Good. Take a breath in, arching lower back away from the floor, stretching the anterior spine. All righty. Just when you thought we'd call it good. Well, I did say that was the last one. Okay, let me clarify. That was the last one in a supine position. Pull your knees to your chest. Take your arms over your head with your block, please, between your hands. And you're gonna roll yourself up to boat pose, roll yourself up to Navasana. You can roll up and back as many times as you want. You wanna get some momentum going, go for it. We're gonna roll up, find ourselves on our sitting bones, and then legs come forward, arms come forward. You can bend your knees, that's cool. Bend your knees, arms forward, spread your toes, lift your chest, or take legs straight, your call. Offer your block to your feet for 5, 4, 3, 2, I feel like I'm sinking, and 1. Cross your ankles and shins in front of you, set your block to the side, hands to the floor, step back, downward dog. All right, I hear you cussing me. Hang in there, we're almost there. Breathe in, float your right leg up, roll your hip back and bend your knee, and enjoy this big stretch through your hip flexors, this big yawn through the front of your right trunk. Square your hips, re-extend your leg, step your right foot forward next to your right hand, and spin your back heel down. Just an easy flow to wrap it up. Rise up, warrior 1, no block. Open out to the sides, warrior 2. Left arm down, right arm up, exalted warrior. Big stretch through the right ribs. Triangle pose is next. Straighten your right leg. Right hand to right shin, left arm up. Take a breath in Trikonasana, inhaling. As you exhale, bend your right knee, and you're in side angle pose, Parshva Konasana. Take your left arm over your left ear, and let's hold it here for just a couple breaths. Right fingertips can be to the floor, on your block, or right elbow can rest on your right knee. Take your left arm and hand down to the floor, right hand to the floor, come up onto the ball of your back foot, step back, downward facing dog. Good. Float your left leg up, roll your hip back, bend the knee. Good. Find that, that nice stretch through the front of the left hip. Square your hips and re-extend your leg. Step your left foot forward all the way up to your left hand and spin your right heel down. Good. Without the block, rise up, warrior 1. Good. Turn your trunk first to the right, then bring your arms into the picture as you open up into warrior 2. Begin to arc your spine over your right leg, then bring your right hand down, left arm up for exalted warrior. Straightening your left leg. Start to migrate your left ribs over your left leg, and then find Trikonasana, triangle pose. Left hand down to your left shin, right arm up. Take a full breath in. Breathe into that left lung, the left ribs. When you exhale, bend left knee, side angle pose, called Parshva Konasana. Your right arm is welcome to remain up, or take your right arm over your right ear. Your call, yogi's choice. Excellent. Right fingertips to the floor, left fingertips to the floor. Come up onto the ball of your back foot. Last downward dog. Stepping back. Come to your knees. Thread the needle. Right hand threads between left hand, left knee. Come all the way down to the right shoulder, right side of your head. Press your left hand into the floor. Withdraw your right arm. And then we'll do the other side. Left arm threads between the right hand, right knee. Come all the way down. Pressing right hand into the floor. Withdraw your left arm. Bringing your left hand to the mat. And then gently settling your hips to your heels for child's pose. Good. Walk your hands to your knees and make your way onto your back. And when you get onto your back, let's do some windshield wipers, taking your feet every bit as wide as your mat. And then just dropping knees from side to side. And go one more time, please. And then we're going to do, I want you to have your block nearby. We're not going to use it immediately, but when you finish up your windshield wipers, you feel pretty well balanced on both sides, that you've done that an equal number of times. Then I'm going to have you walk your feet towards one another, about 6 inches apart. You can go a little wider if you like. Just listen to your lower back. Bring your heels a little closer to your bum and your arms down by your sides. And let's go palms up, right? So you can really anchor your shoulder blades and the tops of your shoulders into the floor. And we're going to do this 3 times. As you breathe in, peel your sacrum, your tailbone, sacrum, low back, low ribs up for bridge pose. Good. Just pressing into your heels and utilizing your hamstrings, glutes, and low back. And then exhale, lower down. And we're going to do that 2 more times. Just moving gently, moving slowly, breathing in. Roll yourself up off the floor. And exhale, lowering down. And this last one is where you want your block nearby. I'm going to have you inhale and bring yourself up again. Just come up to the point that is good for you. I mean, your spine is an extension, your back is arched, your hips are up. Then reach for the block, slide it under your bum, and let your block hold you at that level. Or if you want to go to the next level, take your hips up even higher. You can come up onto your tippy toes, lift your heels, and lift up. Bring your sacrum to the block so that the block is now supporting you in bridge pose. Good. So we're going to stay for a full minute from this point. Terrific. And if you're using a block, I'll have you slide the block out from underneath your pelvis at this time and slowly lower yourself to the floor, like one vertebrae at a time. Good. And then before we call it a day, just to equal everything out, bring everything back into symmetry, spine to the floor. Let's bring the legs, knees to the chest, and then send your heels to the ceiling. Take your arms overhead. So this is called Supta Dandasana or supine staff pose. I think it might look a little bit like a supine downward dog. Imagine yourself flipped over, palms to the mat, toes on the mat. But legs vertical in this shape, so you can rock your tailbone down towards the floor. Good, great. And fire up your legs, press up through the inseam of your legs. So you're really pushing up through the inner heel and the mound of your big toe. Good. Still working just the core from your diaphragm down to the pelvic floor and everything in between. All the middle parts and pieces. Beautiful. Bend your knees to your chest. You can hug your arms around your knees or take your hands over your knees or shins, and then just spend about 30 seconds, 45 seconds to do what feels good. If you want to rock or roll or just collapse into a puddle of pudding, that works too. Really strong practice today. Great. Thanks for playing. And you're going to make your way towards Shavasana that works for you on this day. That could be on your back on the mat, maybe legs up the wall. You might want to sit. In time for fuzzy socks, sweatshirts. Put a beanie on your head so you keep this heat that you've built as your body begins to stabilize, heart rate, breath rate, body temp stabilizes. Let's not drop too low. Wrap a blanket around your shoulders if you'd like. And then you might take a moment and wrap the class up in the way we began, pondering for, a minute or two your core values. And considering the core values of yoga, which would be classified as the yama and niyamas, ahimsa, nonviolence, satya, honesty and truthfulness, asteya, not stealing, not taking anything that hasn't been offered freely to us, brahmacharya, moderation, balance, not overindulging. How about just not indulging? but definitely not overindulging. And aparigraha, those are the five of the yamas. Aparigrahas, not being greedy, not hoarding, not clinging, holding on to things. And as we move into the five niyamas, we have the core value of shaucha, cleanliness, keeping clean your environment, internal and external, your space, your words, your thoughts, your actions, clean. Santosha, a sense of contentment, satisfaction. Tapas, discipline, that building of heat that causes change. Svadhyaya, self-inquiry, looking within, questioning on a daily basis. How am I doing? What am I doing? Who am I? And finally, Ishvara Pranidhana, the ultimate relinquishing the results, the fruits of all of our actions to Ishvara, to God, a higher power, the greater good of all beings. But recognizing that there is something bigger, greater, that we could contribute our actions towards. Just how do those core values line up with your own? When it comes down to it, yoga asana, is more about the settling of our mind and the building of these values on our mat than it is about touching our toes or standing on our head. And this peace and tranquility that we hopefully feel when we come into Shavasana, take it into the day and spread it. Spread it around, spread the love. And begin to deepen your breath. Starting to move your fingers and your toes, animating your body from the external to the internal, from the periphery to the core. You can stretch through your arms and your legs in any shape or direction that your space allows, and that feels good. And then pull your knees into your chest and figure out a way to get upright. You can sit on the floor, cushion, stool, ottoman, sofa, edge of your bed. Okay, we've missed this the last couple of weeks, but we're going to dive into the Maha Mrityunjaya mantra once more. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. That second line kind of rolls together. Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. Urdvardukamiva. Urdvar, that A kind of arcs over into the R. Urdvardukamiva. Bandhanan. Mrityor. And it's really fun to roll those R's. Mukshya Mamritat. Mrityor Mukshya Mamritat. Sung at celebrations, birthdays, deaths, auspicious new beginnings. Here we go. Let's sing it through 3 times. Join if you'd like, no pressure. Okay. Take a breath in. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urdvardukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Nicely done. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urdvardukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. One more time. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urdvardukamiva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyamamritat. Good. Bring palms together and drop your head towards your heart. Place the base of your thumbs to your forehead. Strong and steady mind. Bring your fingertips down to your lips. Strong and steady breath, steady communication. And place your hands to your heart. Strong and steady spirit. Thank you so much for joining me and the others on the screen in the yoga community. And I will see you next week.